Good evening. Welcome to North West Tonight with Annabelle Tiffin. Our top story. The former footballer Joey Barton is found guilty of 6 counts of sending grossly offensive social media posts. Barton had written comments about the BBC presenter Jeremy Vine and 2 female football pundits. Also tonight, a bereaved mum's warning to other parents not to buy their children e-scooters this Christmas.
I am going to be sat at my Christmas table with an empty chair, and I don't want anyone else to have to sit with an empty chair at Christmas.
Phone-free education, as Cheshire aims to become the first county to ban mobiles in all secondary schools.
And the Christmas markets are back in Manchester. Join me a little bit later for some fun and games.
And a lovely weather watch picture sent in by Pedro in Lancashire to end a very special anniversary week. But who is celebrating? Join me at the end of the programme and you'll find out.
The former Manchester City and Burnley footballer Joey Barton has been found guilty of 6 counts of sending grossly offensive messages online. After a week-long trial, a jury found the 43-year-old from Huyton caused anxiety and distress towards female commentators Lucy Ward and Eni Aluka and the broadcaster Jeremy Vine. Anna Jameson is at Liverpool Crown Court. And Anna, this was a week-long trial, but in the end the verdict came pretty quickly.
It did, Annabelle. In fact, today, the jury was asked to decide whether Barton had crossed the line on freedom of speech and what is tolerable in society. And as you say, it was just a matter of hours before the jury decided he had on 6 of the 12 counts. 2 counts of sending grossly offensive messages to Lucy Ward and Eni Aluka, and 4 counts towards the TV and radio broadcaster Jeremy Vine. And this all began last year between the months of January and March on the social media platform X. The first starting after an FA Cup tie between Crystal Palace and Everton, when Barton compared Ward and Aluka to the Fred and Rose West of football commentary. He then went on to superimpose a photograph of the 2 women onto another photo of the serial killers. Now, Barton today was also convicted after a 3rd tweet where he said Aluka was only there to tick boxes.
And Anna, what was said to the broadcaster Jeremy Vine?
Well, the former Fleetwood Town manager suggested that Vine had a sexual interest in children, and this was after a bit of a scrap on social media. Jeremy Vine said that, and asked the question whether Barton had suffered a brain injury, and replying to his 2.7 million followers, Barton used the word bike, followed by a slang term for paedophile. He also asked whether or not Vine had visited Epstein Island. Now, the senior Crown prosecutor Callum Bryce said that although Joey Barton argued that his comments were a joke, this went far beyond that, causing severe distress and anxiety to its victims. Now, standing in the dock today, Joey Barton was wearing a scarf with the British flag colours of red, white and blue. And Judge Andrew Meany KC asked Barton not to repeat the same stunt, as he called it, when he's sentenced on the 8th of December. Now, we are expecting that sentencing to come, as we say, in December. In the meantime, Barton has been released on bail with conditions. He's not allowed to talk about the 3 defendants in public. In fact, Judge Meany KC said to Barton that it would be very foolish indeed of him to discuss the case in public at all. Annabelle.
Anna, thanks very much. Now, since 2019, 48 people have been killed riding e-scooters in England and Wales. This year alone, 3 children have been killed. One was Jacob Calland from Wythenshawe. Now his mum Carly is warning parents not to buy e-scooters as presents this Christmas. Her video, No Empty Chairs, highlights the potential consequences of an accident. Private e-scooters are illegal on our roads. Here's our transport correspondent, Judy Hobson.
No empty chairs. This is a video created by a mum devastated by the death of her teenage boy. Its aim is to warn other parents. Jacob died in March. He was riding on the back of an e-scooter when it was hit by a car. He was 14.
The reason we've gone with no empty chairs is because this Christmas I am going to be sat at my Christmas table with an empty chair, and the thought of that is hard, and I don't want anyone else to have to sit with an empty chair at Christmas. Like, my 14-year-old boy isn't going to be with me this Christmas.
While it's legal to ride an e-scooter through a rental scheme, it's illegal to ride private e-scooters on our roads. But people do, all the time. Jacob's mum is not campaigning for a ban, but wants them to be regulated and made safer.
We want the government to listen and put mandatory helmets in place, stop passengers being carried, stop them to being sold under the age of 18, and to be used in the correct way.
Last year, there were 1,312 collisions involving e-scooters in Great Britain, and 444 people received serious injuries. 6 people were killed.
The majority of those injured were teenage boys.
To date, we've seen in excess of 150 children and young people who have been injured on e-scooters. They often aren't able to stop, they aren't able to manoeuvre, and they will often hit something as simple as a curb, and then they will be thrown quite significant distances because of the speed and velocity that they're going at. Even fairly young children are not wearing helmets. Brain bleeds are not unheard of. Limb injuries, so broken legs, broken upper limbs, and actually we see some abdominal injuries as well. So that can be an injury to the spleen, or it can be an injury to the small intestine. Some of these mean that children have to go to theatre and suffer, obviously, as a result of having to have surgery.
Most retailers say they do inform customers that e-scooters are not legal on our roads, but Lancashire Police say they've already seized around 1,000. Today, Carly is laying flowers at the place where Jacob died.
I know e-scooters are on the top of a lot of people's Christmas lists this year. I just want people to keep their families tight because I've not got mine this year.
Well, the government says safety is a top priority, and the current e-scooter rental trials will help inform future legislation. But there's no sign of that happening anytime soon. Well, as you know, all this week we've been looking at road safety across the region, and you've been sending us your thoughts. Now, on Monday, we looked at some of our most dangerous routes, including the Snake Pass, the A57. Well, Phil Bragg emailed in to say there are no dangerous routes, only dangerous drivers. And many other people emailed in saying exactly the same thing. Well, Chris from Wigan said many drivers, they get too close to the vehicle in front, not giving them enough time to react if needed. Edwin in Radcliffe said even parked cars pose a higher risk to pedestrians. He says he sometimes has to push his wife's wheelchair into the road to get past those parked on the pavement. And last night's report on 20-mile-per-hour speed limits really got you talking. Wendy Carr said she agrees with them. She says they're so much safer for pedestrians and cyclists, but many of you say they're regularly ignored or not enforced. Though Stephen suggests that most vehicles are designed for a 30-mile-per-hour speed limit, and he thinks 20-mile-per-hour limits will reduce fuel efficiency. Well, the sad fact remains that 1,761 people still die on our roads every year, and those figures remain stubbornly high.
Judy, thank you so much. It has been a fascinating series, hasn't it? And it really has. So many people have been emailing in, haven't they, with their comments.
It's been great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get a roundup of some of the day's other news now. And a suspected shoplifter's getaway was foiled when he fled straight into the path of Greater Manchester's top police officer. Chief Constable Sir Stephen Watson had been attending a passing out parade near Prestwich when the suspect ran towards him. He helped apprehend the man until officers arrived to arrest him. A man from Lancashire who daubed obscene graffiti on headstones in a graveyard has been jailed. Offensive images and expletives were also sprayed on the walls of St James's Church in Leyland in April. 30-year-old Joseph Williams from Leyland admitted to religiously motivated criminal damage. He was jailed for 8 months. A controversial £1 billion plan to build 10 tower blocks in Salford, including what would be the North West's tallest building, has been approved by Salford Council. The controversial scheme was opposed by hundreds of residents who submitted objections. The 3,300 new homes will be based off Regent Road in Ordsall. And work is underway on the build for Liverpool's Zoe's Place, a year after the baby hospice was saved from closure. A ceremony's taken place to break ground on the new site after the public raised £7.5 million to save the charity, which will be renamed Little Lights when it opens next year.
We're all very excited to be here today and to see the plans. It feels like it's actually going to happen now. It's really exciting. You know, we're going to be able to provide care for so many more years for the future, and we're going to be able to help so many more children.
Now, the mother of murdered Warrington teenager Brianna Jai is urging schools in Cheshire to lock students' phones away during the day. Cheshire's Police and Crime Commissioner Dan Price announced he wants the county to be the first in the UK where all secondary schools have pouches to lock away students' mobiles. Brianna's former school, Birchwood High, say they've seen an 80% drop in safeguarding issues after banning phones. Molly Brewer reports.
The impact of mobile phones and social media in schools and the sometimes tragic consequences.
What's going on? Stop it! Listen to me, I'm explaining to your wife, your son, he's been arrested on suspicion of murder. Right?
It's something we've seen play out on screen and in real life.
The killing of transgender teenager Brianna Jai, a boy and a girl, both 15, are charged with her murder.
Now, Cheshire's Police and Crime Commissioner wants every high school in the county to introduce these lockable phone pouches.
They do this when they go into school, it stays with them all day, they can't use the phone, and on the way home, they unlock it on the way out. We're funding this with money that we've seized from criminal enterprises. So I've set aside £150,000, which we believe over the next 2 years will be enough to get this rolled out across the whole of our county.
More than 50 school leaders gathered at Jodrell Bank today to listen and ask questions. One of the panellists, Esther Jai, the mother of Brianna Jai, who was murdered in a park in Warrington in 2023. Esther's been speaking to us on what would have been Brianna's 19th birthday.
When Brianna was at Birchwood Community High School, there were 120 safeguarding incidents logged. The last 2 years of her life, she really struggled. She struggled with her mental health. She had an eating disorder. She was self-harming. Her education suffered because of her smartphone addiction. There's so many harms, and school is not a place for them.
Brianna's school now bans phones and says it's changed the school culture entirely.
We have reduced our safeguarding incidents that are connected to social media and phone use and internet use by 81%. We have reduced behaviour incidents connected to mobile phones and social media by 94%. At break and lunch we kept saying, why is it so noisy? And then we realised it's because they're talking more. So it's children being children.
I think it will be absolutely fantastic if Cheshire leads the way with this. Brianna isn't alone in this. It might seem extreme, but it's really not. Like, little did I know back then, like how addictive these devices are.
If schools decide to take up the funding, the aim is to roll out the ban over the next 2 years. Molly Brewer, BBC North West Tonight.
Right, let's take a look at some of the other stories people are reading from BBC News. And Westmoreland and Furness Council has apologised after work on a war memorial in Kendal was branded amateurish by a veteran ahead of Remembrance Sunday. The work has now been rectified. An Ofsted report says Blackpool Council's services for children are continuing to improve. Inspectors looked at how the authority supported children who needed help or protection. And residents in Kirby are understandably unhappy after the town's name was misspelt on road markings and signs. Find out more about those stories and others at bbc.co.uk/local news or on the BBC News app. Now, can you believe it? There are 48 days until Christmas, but it's never too early to do a festive story here on North West Tonight. And from today, it will feel particularly Christmassy if you're in Manchester, as the world-famous Christmas markets opened. Hundreds of stalls will be spread across the city centre, and they're back in Albert Square near the Town Hall. Phil Cunliffe, who can't resist a bratwurst, went along to see what festive treats are in store.
Going a bit fast.
They're the UK's biggest Christmas celebrations. 264 stalls spread across 10 sites. And for the first time in 5 years, the festivities are back in Albert Square.
If you've not been to Albert Square, because it's been fenced off for 5 years, you will be delighted when you see it. So you see the big wheel, we've got a new Father Christmas, and we've got a skating rink. So we've got everything to make your best Christmas ever. You might get me on with 2 gin and tonics, but I'm terrified of heights, so that wheel's no use to me.
Well, we've had bonfire night, we've had Halloween, I've still got the poppy on. It's the 7th of November, it's Christmas. Have you got some ketchup, please, love?
There you go.
What's the attraction of coming here, apart from the hot chocolate, then?
Just to get in the festive spirit, I think, and start enjoying Christmas. And
but it's only the 7th of
Manchester.
November.
I know, but, you know, it's here, so why not?
We come every year, and we like to come early, well, it's not as busy, and it seems more spacious and spread out this year, so it's really nice.
You've got to get the Christmas vibes going as soon as possible.
First time in a couple of years since we've been, so yeah, it's good to just come back and see how it's changed and evolved over the years.
And
good.
We've got family over from America, from Chicago, so we brought our Auntie Anne down today to experience Manchester markets as well.
Merry Christmas! Is it not a bit pricey?
A little bit pricey, but if you do it, you know, once a week in your lunch hour, it's not too bad.
We tell all the traders, keep your prices low. If you don't keep your prices low, people won't buy your produce.
Among the stalls this year is a converted fire engine. Long after dousing fires, it now helps to quench people's thirsts as a pop-up bar.
I bought it when it retired 10 years ago, and then we converted it into this. It's done a lot of large fires around Manchester and surrounding areas. I've been trying to get it on the markets for at least 6 years, so finally here on Albert Square.
And that's a sentiment shared by Olivia, who helps to run her parents' food stall.
This year they've offered us a pitch at the Christmas markets at Albert Square, and obviously that's an offer I can't refuse, so yeah, we said yes, so we're excited. This is the most busiest time of the year. You're almost waiting all year for this season, so yeah, we're excited.
Festive markets are on until the 22nd of December. Phil Cunliffe, BBC North West Tonight, Manchester.
Well, it's sort of feeling festive, isn't it? But it needs to get a bit colder, I think. Right, let's move on to sport now, and some intriguing Premier League fixtures this weekend, Ian.
Yeah, second versus third at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday. Christmas can do one, by the way. Way too early for that. As Manchester City host Liverpool, City had a slow start to the season but are now bang in form, while after a terrible run of results, Liverpool have now won 2 in 2, including that statement win over Real Madrid in the Champions League. And with Arsenal currently 6 points clear at the top of the table, both sides will be desperate not to lose ground. And Liverpool are getting their season back on track after an unexpected blip. So now all eyes are on the Etihad for the most intriguing of fixtures.
Well, Liverpool are no pushovers, as we know, of course, but they'll know they face a tricky task here at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Look like the Manchester City we've come to know over the past few years.
Impressive stats indeed. Not that this Borussia Dortmund fan we met was overly impressed with the side his team lost to.
For me, that was nothing special. Normally they should win over Dortmund 5-0.
So you think they're nothing special?
No, not for a team like City.
Sunday will be Pep Guardiola's 1000th game as a manager.
It's a joy. I enjoy every single... No, I would say I'm a liar. I didn't enjoy every single moment, but I enjoy a lot the journey, yeah. I've been nice, I've been top. I've been blessed, I would say.
Both City and Liverpool are chasing Arsenal at the moment, who have started really, really well.
We are early November, and early November nobody wins the title. You can lose it, but nobody wins the title.
Are City genuine title contenders this season then?
I think so. I think they're looking good. You know, they're scoring a lot. They're defending game. It'll be a good test for both teams. You know, they're both kind of, City's picking up form, Liverpool's kind of dropping a bit. So this will be a big game now for confidence, I think.
Since last year, you know, the performances, sometimes you believe it's really brilliant. It's reached the optimal, because Arsenal always goes very, very well.
But a Liverpool win would be a big statement of intent.
Yeah, City is of course a game on itself. You could say playing there away from home is probably one of the most difficult challenges you have throughout the season. So yeah, very interesting game to look forward to.
We will. That should be good, as will the early kick-off tomorrow, as Manchester United goes to Tottenham with manager Ruben Amorim, having today been named Premier League Manager of the Month for October. Elsewhere, Everton hosts Fulham with Burnley away at West Ham. In the Championship, meanwhile, some breaking news in the past couple of hours. Preston North End striker Miljutin Osmajic has been given a 9-match ban. This is after he was charged by the FA with racially abusing Burnley midfielder Hannibal back in February. The player, seen here scoring in North End's win over Swansea in midweek, had strongly refuted the allegations. Preston say they're extremely disappointed at the decision, which they say was determined on the balance of probabilities rather than beyond reasonable doubt. Tomorrow, they're away at Millwall. Also in the Championship, informed Blackburn Rovers here will hope to mark their 150th anniversary with a win at home to Derby, who are managed by former boss John Eustace. In the Women's Super League tomorrow, Manchester United will look to continue their unbeaten run that so far stretches to 7 games as they host Aston Villa at midday tomorrow. The rest of our sides play on Sunday. Tommy Fleetwood here, we keep seeing him, don't we? His brilliant year might just get even more brilliant. The Southport golfer is the current joint leader of the Abu Dhabi Championship at 14 under par after 2 rounds in what is the DP World Tour's penultimate tournament of the year. He just keeps on going, doesn't he? Better and better. And speaking of which, popular weathercaster Kay Cruson is on Annabelle's red sofa.
Oh, and by the way, Meryl has emailed in to say she agrees with you. Keep Christmas in December. I know what she means.
I know what she means.
We've got to build up to
in
it.
a week.
What?
I'm putting my Christmas decorations up next week.
That's far too soon.
I'm so excited.
As you can see and hear, Kay is here. And we're going to be celebrating a little bit of a weather milestone, aren't we?
10 years of BBC Weather Watchers. Now, we have got incredible weather watchers. Some of the stunning photos that have just come in today. You send me the pictures in the hundreds as we go through the year. They are fantastic. And I have had a lovely morning out with one of our weather watchers, David, and his partner, Michael, up on Werneth Low.
I joined BBC Weather Watchers in April last year. So although it's been going for maybe 10 years, I'm a relative newbie, I would say. But my partner, Michael, he kept saying to me, as I'm going around the valley each morning, taking photographs, different animals, different scenes, taking this, what are you taking this for? And then one day he said, why don't you put them on the Weather Watcher app and see if you can get them on television? And now this is what I do.
Looking beautiful, David. Thank you for sending that photograph in.
I remember thinking, am I ever going to be chosen? But then, all of a sudden one evening, it's like, that's my photograph.
So, you're obviously very good at taking photographs, and I do like it when I see that you've been up and about. So, are you up for taking me on one of your routes? Show me how you take the perfect picture.
Let's do it. Come on.
Right. Where's Michael gone? Get him. He'll be somewhere with his camera taking pictures without you.
Without me. Oh, he's trying to get on Weather Watchers. Hey. So we're going for a walk.
You taking the pictures or is David? Who
No,
takes these
I
pictures?
take them first.
I take the
Then I
pictures.
say, this is the type of picture you should be taking. He'll take it and get his name on the television.
And then he gets jealous.
Less chat, more action. So should we go and take a picture?
Come on, let's go.
Find a spot.
If we look over here,
Yeah.
we've got the cows, we've got Kinder Scout up there, we've got Mantor over there, a nice valley, lots of trees. So I think that should be okay.
That is a Weather Watch picture, that.
I think you're right. And there it is, already done.
And it just fits. I've lost weight. We say to everybody where you can, just fix it out, it's free. doesn't cost
Yeah,
anything.
just do it.
I knew this had come to it.
Oh, David and Michael are so lovely and their walks are gorgeous. Thank you for joining in, celebrating the 10th anniversary, and to you for sending in your fantastic Weather Watcher pictures day in, day out, like today. Up in Cumbria, we did see a little bit of sunshine around early doors this morning. Cloudier skies, but then it brightened up for some on the Wirral, in New Brighton, some decent spells of sunshine. Thank you for sending your photographs in. If that's inspired you to become a BBC Weather Watcher, then do join us. It's very easy to do so, and you can let us know what it's like in your part of the world. Now, this weekend, I think the photos that are going to be coming in are going to be of sunny skies on Saturday, showery scenes on Sunday. So, yeah, the better day out of the two, definitely Saturday. So if you take a look at the pressure chart, you can see we've got a brief ridge before this cold front sweeps in. Now, it is going to have a little bit of a knock-on effect on temperatures, but real cold, we're not going to be talking about that until mid-November. Mild for the time of year. And out and about at the minute, cloudy, and there are some showers. These will tend to clear as we head overnight. And behind it, we'll get some clear skies. That's going to allow for a bit of low cloud in the valleys, bit of mist, bit of murk over the tops of the hills. 10 degrees will be the low, which is 50 in Fahrenheit. So a bit cloudy at first tomorrow morning, the odd isolated shower, but it's going to brighten up really quite nicely. Temperatures will be a little bit lower than they were today. We did get 16 degrees today, but with the sunshine and a light breeze, highs of 14 in spots, it should feel pleasant. Fast forward into Sunday, fine for most of us, but on the Isle of Man, we'll have cloudy skies to start. Then we'll start to get those showers from the cold front starting to sweep through. Some of them could be heavy. The winds will freshen, highs of 13 degrees, and then temperatures hover around 13 or 14 degrees next week. That's your forecast.
So it's still really, really mild, isn't it? I mean, yeah. It's not Christmassy feeling at all yet.
It is not. I've been told off about the Christmas decorations and I shan't listen. I'm putting them up. Ha.
That's ludicrously early.
I'm like Elf. I can't wait.
Well, thank you for watching. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.
Night-night.